Hello and welcome to the Hunt, Banish, Extract podcast. I am your host, the Drunken Bard, aka DJ. With me are my co-hosts, Sleepy Weasel, aka Tyler.
Yeah, what's up?
Sir Kaiser, aka Richard.
I am here.
Sir Reednick, aka Colin.
Yo.
And No Mortal Z, aka Aaron.
Yep.
So, right off the bat, I want to apologize. Last episode's audio bugged about halfway through. Craig had a stroke, and all of the audio was gone for about 2 minutes. And not only that, but I forgot to adjust the threshold on my mic, so my audio was constantly cutting in and out. I apologize. So now everything should be smooth. I will double check the audio before I post the podcast. Don't worry. But we're finally done with Tide of Shadows. No more excessive rain. We're finally out of the woods, or out of the rainy bayou, I guess.
Yeah. Still in the swamp, but we don't have swamp ass as bad, so.
Yeah, no swamp ass, and we can actually hear at least part of the time now. And night maps are now less common, thank God. I'm terrible at them.
I don't mind them when I'm solo, but I definitely did not like getting them like every other time. And then it was either rainy or foggy when it wasn't night map.
I just miss the daytime. I miss the chaos of everybody coming out and having a party and blowing each other up.
I mean, oh boy, we've been getting chaos.
That's even less. It's and let's be honest though, everyone running out in chaos is even less now than even before the event.
Yeah, I think.
Yep.
Everyone plays a lot slower.
Yeah, I think because they're so used to not playing slow with the rain. So
it's also the influx of new people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a good point.
Not to mention the sweaty season's up. Everybody's done with the event, so only the truly dedicated are out right now. So it's all 5 stars, baby.
And the people that got addicted,
aka us.
We're not 5-star. Well, DJ and Aaron are often 5-star, but
yeah, I get angry whenever I break in.
It's pretty much a thing where we'll play so stupid that we'll end up back and 4, sometimes even 3. We don't care.
It's not
fun.
It's not on purpose though. It's just
it's kind of on purpose when we run stupid loadouts.
Yeah, but that's just because we want to have fun.
Yeah, that's part of the game. So
because we're girls.
Yeah,
I want to have fun on
girlfriend.
Oh, no girls.
Wow. All right. Gosh. So one thing I wanted to clarify from a couple of episodes ago, because the dualies tip I tested myself because a couple of people, I specifically found it from Rexnor, were talking about how if you held the shoot button, you would only shoot one of the guns and empty it. Well, that's only single action pistols. So single action pistols will continue to fire until they're empty. Conversion, the Nagant, the regular Nagant, not the officer.
Yeah, the Labatt and such.
Yeah, so those will. But anything double actions like the Dolph, the officer,
New Army,
the Bornheim, the New Army, none of those will continue to do that. So that's an important little tidbit of information if you ever use that. And I was wrong. I somewhere said that the upper mat had more sway than the Mosin. That is incorrect.
Oh,
the
yeah.
Mosin compact has more sway than the upper mat. So I am sorry. Misinformation.
You better be sorry.
I'm always sorry.
Yeah, me too. I get it. No, but that was very important to clarify because we also don't want to be spreading false information.
Well, I also
in terms of mechanics and such too. So
I want everyone to lose to me by listening to us.
Hell
well,
yeah.
I said the Nitro had 1 ammo type. I said that there were only 2 tripwires. I've slipped up a couple of times.
Well, I think we corrected you on that one.
Yeah, that one we at least were able to. Well, wait a minute, no. So.
Yeah,
in fact, I think Colin is in Hunt right now in case we need to look at things. So
that would help immensely.
Write that down. Write that down.
Well, one thing I wanted to ask, because now that we're in a hiatus of events, How is the balancing on all of the guns? Because I can't personally think of anything I want to change at this moment. Maybe one will cross my mind.
As far as gun balancing goes, I don't know. Like I kind of typically use the same like 20 guns only, and I feel like I've gotten good with them. And maybe that's my fault that I'm not branching out enough. But as far as those guns that I use, I can't really think of anything that I'm like, oh, I wish it would just do this much more. Oh, actually, I can think of something. I do, and I get why it's not this way. But the Nagant, just a normal Nagant pistol, I wish it just did a little bit more damage. Because I think it does, what is it, 91, Colin?
Which pistol?
Just the Nagant pistol.
Just the Nagant.
Yeah.
Yeah, 91.
Yeah, I wish it did like 97 or something like that. Just because it shoots so slow. I don't know. That's just me, but at the same time, I don't use it very much. So I don't know. I don't know what you guys think about that, or if that is already balanced enough for you. But,
The regular Nagant?
yeah, just the normal Nagant, not the officer.
I think it shoots pretty fast is the reason why it's not higher damage.
The regular Nagant has pitiful damage at range, and what's kind of funny is the silenced Nagant actually has less headshot range than the damn Derringer. I didn't realize that till I looked into it.
Holy crap!
You never realize because it's usually pretty.
Yeah.
It's usually pretty reliable. It's 2 meters less. Well, actually, that brings me to a little point to kind of go along with balancing. Is I did a test specifically with long ammo, but then I tested pistols. Then I tested most of the rifles. All of them at the displayed range that they say the effective headshot range is a lie. That is actually where the damage drops. Certain guns were up to 2 meters less than the projected range. So it's even misleading to 2 meters on some guns. Specifically.
Yeah, which, I mean, it doesn't sound like a lot, but when you got like the really competitive people who really need to know the ins and outs of the mechanics, that's pretty important information, I think.
Well, when you have something like the uppercut, which is you think it has a lot more range than it does, and then you shoot out a headshot range, which I've done, it will take you off balance, because those ones that are supposed to be quote unquote longer range, like the upper mat and uppercut, will immediately deceive you, because you'll shoot them out of 100-meter range pretty frequently if you use them the way they're intended.
Same with the this one I understand though, the nitro. Its effective range for a sniper, like an aperture sniper, it's not very far.
Right,
because it seems
for
like
one-hit
the
kills.
velocity is
Yeah.
pretty slow comparatively.
Well, it's just, I think they did it on purpose to make it like a powerful yet an inconvenient weapon. So like, yes, it gives you a sniper scope, but it's really only good at like closer ranges. Not like close range, but like closer. So I guess I kind of understand it, but at the same time, it's like, that's kind of odd. I don't remember the...
No, I'm just saying, like, its most effective range to, like, see and also to
kill.
To kill.
Right. Yeah, I think it's somewhere around there, because if not...
Not too close, not too far.
Yeah. Because if not, you're going to have to waste both of your shots to kill them, and
Exactly.
The recoil on that thing with the aperture, it's pretty rough to hit your second shot immediately after you hit the first one, so... but I understand why it's that way.
Well, that's actually one of my biggest problems with Crown and King's slugs, because it's one of the best guns, but oh my god, that second shot with the recoil can usually be a bit much.
Yeah. Again, though, it is slugs. I think.
Yeah, I think it deserves that.
Yeah, I think people already kind of take that with a grain of salt. So. I don't know. And I personally, I don't really like to use slugs. I only like to use it in the slate, and if I'm not using slugs in a slate, I don't like the slate either. So, but that's just me.
How dare you?
Yeah, I know that's your gun, but that's I suck with the slate. I just don't. I can't use it effectively to save anyone.
Well, it was actually revealed on Reddit that slugs have been having a lot of inconsistencies, and I'm not sure when they were nerfed. but they were at some
Okay.
point, at least a little bit. I do believe they dropped their range. So 2-tap potential is actually where you kind of rely on them as opposed to single hit.
Right. I guess that makes sense. Again, I don't use slugs, so I can't really put too much input on that. But I know that Colin, you use. I mean, obviously you use the slate a lot, and you use slugs a lot with a lot of shotguns too. So I don't know if you've noticed it.
I was using slugs a lot for this last prestige because I was using the Romero pretty heavily.
Mhm.
It was wildly inconsistent. Like I was getting really upset with using the Romero during solos because I would take slugs with me, hit somebody in the chest, and they wouldn't go down. And I was
Right.
like, what? This
Yeah,
is new.
Beyond about 20 meters, almost all of the slugs dropped off, I believe. I think that's actually what their advertised thing is you have to get a headshot beyond a certain point, but they're wildly inconsistent, and a lot of people have been testing them. There's even been some posts
Interesting.
about it. Yeah.
I wonder if they're just trying to take slugs out of the super competitive meta. I don't know, which I don't understand why they would, but
it's one of those things where they're trying to keep one shots to, I believe, at least 15 meters, or at least, like, at most 15
Mostly
meters.
headshots.
right.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
a lot of
I
people are
guess.
rocking them indoors, and I think they want to try and keep a lot more rifles overly competitive because they
Variety.
want. Well, no, they want ranged fights to feel like ranged fights, and I think that's kind of one thing that they've always kind of kept is that they want shotguns to really be niche.
Yeah, and they definitely are.
Yeah. I mean, especially like that's fitting for the time frame because shotgun people would have used, like people that had shotguns would have been farmers. It would have been a very uncommon weapon.
The redneck.
Oh yeah.
Because if you run him, what's the word? If you cosplay as the redneck, you got to run the double barrel, man, or an axe.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
But now that the event's over, do we have any thoughts about what might happen in this upcoming Halloween event? Because we're doing our next podcast within a month. I think I might have forgotten to mention that, actually. So not 2 weeks like the usual, but a month we will be recording our next podcast because we're waiting for the information to roll in. But
yeah.
So by the next time you hear us, information will have dropped. What do we think will happen?
I don't think they're going to bring Plague Doctor back, and I know a lot of people want that to happen, but I personally, I don't think they're going to do it.
I almost feel that the Halloween event is actually going to be kind of, what's the word? Scaled
Overlooked.
down.
Yeah. Okay.
Like last year, it was nowhere compared to the previous year.
No, it was more just like you get like challenges, like quest lines, and that's all it is. Yeah.
Last year's was the Mama May quest line, so they're probably just gonna do another quest line.
Yeah.
Do a better one, and I'm happy. So
yeah.
Well, Mama May is still one of my favorite characters to play.
Yeah, but she was a pain to get with the quest line.
Yeah, not as bad as the Billy Story quest lines, but
yeah, but that one's a Twitch drop. Quest line, though. So.
Yeah.
Well, one thing that they did specifically with a lot of the weapons that they did in the first Halloween event is they took a lot of the bayonet versions, or like the axe version of the Romero, and they put bones on them. I hope they keep that theme going with like the Labelle Talon, the new slate.
Go all out.
I really hope that they keep the really creepy aesthetics to some of the guns.
Yeah, I think that was my problem with the last Halloween event. It wasn't very Halloween-y. Like, it wasn't focused on the bones, the pumpkins, the just crazy dark
It just felt
stuff.
like, we're going to give you a funeral girl, because that's Halloween, right? Yeah. Which, again, I love her, but...
I think they're afraid to lean into the seasons like a lot of games do, like Fortnite, where they really rock just what's going on.
Seasons, yeah.
Because they tried to stay lore-based, and I'm going to be honest, unfortunately, a lot of the hunt community does not give a fuck about the lore, so we're going to we're gonna need more skins that kind of ignore that. It's just take the fun aspect of it and really put it into the
It's
game.
just-
I mean,
Focus on design
we're the
and
furry skins.
artistic.
yeah. God, I do
Man, we
miss
got
when they were,
Direwolf.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
but like, I do wonder whatever happened to the skin competitions where they would actually have
Yeah.
some of the
yeah.
fans
Great,
design the
yeah.
skins to add
That's
a free skin
right.
into the game. That's needed again, at least soon.
Well, did you ever see the concept art for like when they were doing like the Lord's Prayer, like right before that came out and stuff? Like there were such cool guns, and I'd like to see those at some point because some of the variations that they had for the Lord's Prayer, which is debatably, in our opinion, one of the best uppercut skins. But like they had one that was like more intricate, less painted on. But I do like the painted on look. But anyways, yeah, I agree. They need to have more contests with that. It's really engaging to the fans and people.
Involvement.
Yeah, and Richard and I, we draw a lot and stuff, and we do all the artsy stuff. Like
Maybe we just need to create some skins of our own, and then we can post them up for the channel.
yeah. Or maybe we'll get big enough one day and they'll let us put one in. That's not gonna
Hardy,
happen. But
Hey, you never know.
anyways, yeah, you
Not
never know,
holding
I
my
guess,
breath.
but- yeah, I'm not either, but that's okay.
We'll
I
do it
still
for
enjoy
fun.
the game. Yeah, exactly. That's what's really important. Somebody dropped something just now, but
Are
That
they
was
okay?
from upstairs in my house.
Nice.
That was
Gracious.
somebody
That's what they
dropped
all
something in the
say.
kitchen.
that's what they all say. Drop
Sorry
something
about
in the
that.
kitchen. No, you're good.
One fun little idea that I had, mostly because it sounds like it could easily fit into the game, and it's not balance ruining. If you throw a hive bee jar and it hits the hunter directly, it should cause bleeding.
I mean, yeah,
The glass shattering.
yeah, exactly. It's glass. Yeah.
Little
I think that-
additional things like that might
Yeah.
help.
Yeah.
Little tidbits, because there is a lot of little tidbits in this game, but
Even the poison bomb, it shatters glass.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
not
I
that
think
you're
it's a
going to be
great
hitting
idea.
an enemy hunter unless you're really freaking desperate, I guess.
Yeah, it would just be like kind of nice to get an extra bonus for hitting somebody directly.
Well, it would just be an attention to detail that would really draw me in.
Exactly. Exactly.
Is there any more balancing with any of the guns we can think of? Because, I mean, we obviously discussed that the Dolch doesn't need special ammo. We went through that pretty thoroughly.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I think the Nitro's in a good place.
The
trying to
Bornheim
think-
is probably the one that I think is really well balanced, but also very poorly balanced. I can't really, I can't think of another weapon that conflicted.
I hate that gun, so I can't really add input.
The one that I don't really like going against, I'm pretty sure it's the Lamac carbine, because it's
Oh my
got
gosh.
Love
that
that gun.
fast rate of fire, and then it's got the shotgun shell.
Dude, I got the most fucking disgusting headshot landed on me by that
That's-
thing while I was
yeah,
playing with
that's what I'm
Colin.
saying.
Like, I thought that
Yeah.
fucker was cheating, dude. Straight
Yeah.
up.
Oh my gosh.
It's got like no recoil and all
Mhm.
that sort of stuff.
Well,
I
it's a
love
good
it.
gun. It's just
Oh,
I
it's
couldn't
good.
believe it.
It's
He
great.
he probably screamed at his monitor when he landed that. Let's be honest.
Yeah, who's right?
Damn.
Yeah, it's just the lack of recoil makes it feel kind of cheap.
That's the only
Well,
reason it's really
it's-
a carbine, though.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny though, because I remember when they first introduced the carbine, I was like, wow, I love this gun. And then like a patch or something later, they were like, we're gonna up the fire rate very slightly on it. It's like, wow, you're really showing this gun some love. I already think it's great. Like that's kind of crazy. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I have noticed the difference between the two, but it's really not that much of a difference. So
I do want a few more guns, like the drilling, that really challenge the long ammo meta, though. I think it's really important that we at least get
Yeah.
something that's akin to those guns, because I feel
Well-
like... Oh, go ahead.
Maybe.
Well, what's great about the drilling is it was a new gun. It wasn't just like a new variation. or anything like that. The drilling it's a standalone weapon. It was a one of a kind, like and it's always good to get more weapon variations, like when the Springfield Crag got a scope and stuff, and then a bayonet. Like that was great, but I do like to see new guns,
Yeah. Richard, did you have something you wanted to add?
Oh, I was actually going to correct myself. It wasn't the Lamont carbine. It was actually the Nagant officer carbine.
Oh, I love that gun
don't
even
like.
more.
Yeah,
Oh my
that's the one
gosh.
without the
That-
recoil.
Well, that one is pretty notorious through the community because the fact that it has
Yeah.
such little recoil and the fact that
Yep.
that thing will
It's
destroy
a
a whole enemy
precision
team.
monster.
Yep.
Well, and yeah, it's precision based. You can put high
Fast
velo
rate of
rounds.
fire.
You can
Yep.
put poison in it. It's a
Yep.
it's a damn good weapon. It's
Just
definitely one of my
diverse, and then
favorites.
it'll
Yeah.
Just click on you, and you're pretty
Mhm.
much screwed.
Yep.
Hunt must be
Yeah,
doing
so-
something impressive if we aren't complaining about a certain gun, though. I will say that.
Yeah.
What certain
What's
gun are
that
you
gun?
mentioning?
No.
Any,
Because I
like
was
a
mentioning.
specific one.
Yeah, because I was mentioning balancing, and I said it's kind
Yeah.
of impressive that we haven't had a gun that we particularly can't stand.
Yeah. Well, because
Well-
you're gonna die by something at some point, so it's
Yeah.
sometimes some guns are used more, and it's just because people are using them because they're like
Mhm.
dying to something else, and they're like, I'll counter that, and then everyone starts noticing that, then they keep running the counter of that.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a
So-
chain. It's a cycle, and it just goes around and around.
I do wonder because I bet you the bomb lance is going to be one that they keep adding ammo types to. I do wonder
Yeah.
if they're going to come up with like a fire or poison round of some sort because I'm not sure bleed wouldn't be very fair
Did you
with
say
that
bomb
weapon.
lance?
The bomb lance, yeah.
It has.
They
Dragon's
already
Breath.
have. Yeah, they have.
Yeah,
fire
it has
for that
Dragon's
one,
Breath
yeah.
now.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it has dragon's breath.
With the
It doesn't
steel
have
ball
poison. It doesn't have
Is
poison.
when it
that's
came
right.
out.
Yeah, because the dragon's breath is almost never used because it's the same thing that happened with the damn.
I love it.
Yeah, with the the nitro. I just forget because
Yeah.
rarely people use the other type.
Yeah.
But the-
explosive.
A poison bomb type would be kind of interesting though, but it
That
would
would be
also be
interesting,
irrelevant because the hand crossbow covers that fine. So that's
Well,
more.
not only that, I think people would also be worried that like, oh, they'll just bring a bomb lance and they're just gonna poison everybody's dead bodies, so nobody can do anything.
And then hide behind a corner and
yeah,
round it and
so
land in your
I
ass.
could see people getting mad at that. Having said that, I do think there is a place for it.
Something. I mean, I know there's got to be another bomb lance type in the near future. It seems like the gun that they're
mini
really
bomb
leaning
lance.
on. A mini bomb lance. Holy hell!
No,
Double
please
bomb
no.
lance.
And
It's
even
just
longer
it's like the
bomb
size of a
lance.
dagger. Just
It takes up literally both your weapon slots, but the thing reaches like 20 feet in front of you.
oh my gosh.
It's like you see somebody running at you from like really far away because it's super tall. Like,
That'd be ridiculous.
You know what? Speaking of, a javelin would be nice, like some type of.
oh, like
Throwable.
throwable, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
You could
they do
throw it like the
have-
trident.
Yeah, you can throw the pitchforks and
Yeah.
You need a
Uh,
trait though, whereas these could be retrievable. I think that's much
But
more
that-
interesting.
Yeah, I would think
Yeah.
like in the world though, like only.
but
That
that would
could
be
be
the same
interesting.
thing then.
It would,
Yeah.
yeah.
You're just saying add a javelin though, like a spear. Maybe we
Not
have
not
like,
not necessarily, because when I was thinking about it, I was thinking of like, just like a fucking piece of wood,
yeah,
just sharpened at the edge. That's all I was
Yeah.
thinking of. Because when you think about like, what's its name again? The gator. Either way, when
Rotjaw.
you see the
Hutch.
when you see Rotjaw, like that would have been an easy one to throw in, to mix in with everything else. Just spears to throw at it.
They chose a
'Cause
hammer.
they do that in
instead.
Resident Evil.
That's right.
Which I honestly forgot about that DLC until I just started talking about spears and gators.
Well, you know, one thing that I'm wondering about the Halloween event is I'm really worried about repeats because Mama May was sort of the fill-in for that event, and I feel like a
Yeah.
lot of like holiday events, they're more so sticking in hunter skins and kind of trying to keep the audience with the old skins and paying for them. So that
Except
might be
for
a
Plague
lot of what we
Doctor.
see.
Bring in
Well,
a
that wasn't
pumpkin head.
technically a Halloween skin, though.
No,
Bring
it
in
was
a
a scrappy
pumpkin head.
skin.
Yeah, because Mama May was the first official Legendary Hunter Halloween skin. So I'm wondering, that's probably...
What about the headsman?
Oh my hell, the headsman. Yeah, the headsman, which is
Yeah.
also...
A better
And-
event, but a worse skin.
Right, but there's...
Debatable.
brings me into another
I
thing.
know what you're gonna say.
Yeah, because it's something I written in the notes. Because there are a lot of legendary hunter skins, and I know people would say there's only like 3. No, there's a lot. Where they're all exceptionally dark. They are very hard to view in night maps and inside of buildings as well, especially if you don't turn your gamma up. And Headsman is probably the most guilty. He kind of needs the cane treatment, or at least a few of these skins do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lose Mala as well.
Lose
actually.
Mala as well, absolutely. I don't think the white stripes on her are nearly enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those need
But I
to
also would
glow.
be scared of them changing the way she looked too much because I think she looks awesome. So.
Well, they didn't change Kane. They more so changed the hue. They made him more visible, more blue, right?
Yeah.
And that's an easy implementation that they can do to these skins, because if there's one thing that pissed me off more than anything entering high elo in this game, is the first thing I noticed is I was playing all the random skins, and then I would see Gator Man, I would see Felice, I would see Headsman,
Yep.
I would see oh my goodness, he was one of the ones that was added. He's the other
Reaper?
enemy to Gator.
Oh,
But the
Scaled?
dreads.
Yeah, the scale.
Oh, the skin.
Skinhead.
The skinned.
Oh, the
yeah.
skin.
Skins,
Yeah.
that's the one.
He was one of the other common ones. When you enter 5 stars to 6 stars, good luck. That's all you're gonna see. It's boring. Even the
Yeah.
weapon skins, they choose dark ones because they try to keep the advantage. And I don't know, man. I mean, if there's gonna
That's
be,
just people being competitive, I feel.
Yeah.
it is,
It's
but
people being people, taking it every
it's
inch they can
unfortunate
get.
because there are so many better skins than those, in my
Yeah.
humble opinion.
But not everyone plays like they're playing in the high ranks because they want to win and not necessarily look fancy. I
Well,
want to look fancy.
There's
Yeah, I want a style on y'all.
yeah.
Style. I mean, if I have like a clown character with like big old shoes and like a clown nose, big old red wig, and if I killed you, I would feel so great about myself.
Next skin,
'Cause that's
guys. You
just
hear
funny.
that?
Like clown core.
I want a
That's
John
his
Wayne
name.
Gacy skin, dude. I want to be the murderer, the clown murderer
Whoa.
of the bayou. Not really. Goodness gracious. That's a joke. Calm
That
down.
took a dark turn. I was like, wait a minute.
I'm all talking about like a guy going to birthday parties, going
And
to the
honking,
bayou
yeah.
on like holiday, and then you're like talking about a serial killer.
Well, it's Halloween coming up. It's an
I mean,
idea. Plus,
you don't have to be a serial killer though.
we already got the Viper, who is an assassin character who's supposed to be mega spooky, and he's got a basket head skin
He's
and stuff.
spooky?
So, yeah, he's spooky in terms of the lore because nobody knows. That's why they use "they," is nobody knows
Yeah.
that the Viper is a
Yeah.
dude.
Then nobody
Yeah.
knows the identity, or the Viper itself is a title that's passed down between people. Too.
It could be.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just very ambiguous. So just take that what you will. But
Well,
Easy route, I guess. Yeah.
that also helps me transition into what we were talking about, or rather, Tyler has brought up, because the new teaser has dropped. So why don't you kind of say what you wanted to say about that?
okay, so should I say what the teaser is for those who don't know it, or should I say what I think about
was it
teasers in
by
general?
the
I'm
Hunt
sure-
Showdown team?
Well, it's one of those things where a lot of the fans have probably realistically seen it. Hunt has a kind of, not content drought, but the community is very tight knit. So, kind of explain
Well-
what you. Oh, go ahead, Richard.
I mean, was it the one with the 2 hunters on it?
Yes,
With the voice
That's
acting,
the
yes.
teaser.
yes.
Yeah, with the voice acting. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and say what you think, Tyler.
Okay, so I'm more talking about teasers in general, not necessarily this specific teaser, but
Okay.
literally the day after the event ended, we got this teaser. Now, I'm okay with them putting out content and the teams like showing you, hey, this is what we're working on, but before the Tide of Shadows event came out, like months and months before, they were just dropping like teasers constantly, and they
Tiny
didn't
spits.
ever give us new information. It was just always, oh my gosh, there's something in the water, dun dun dun, and then like they wouldn't show it, and then but then they had a different one that was basically the exact same thing and with a different angle, and it's just like, we understand you want to hype things up, but I don't like.
Yeah, my
You
problem
don't give
with
us
that,
information. Like,
yeah, like kind of a reiterate on what you're saying is that whenever they would like show a teaser, it wasn't even that they were showing us something, it's the fact that they were teasing nothing. Like it didn't
yes,
show anything. They literally did a teaser to tease that it was in there, and then
that is
another
something's
teaser
coming.
that something was still in the water, then another teaser that it was in the water. And
Again,
then
and ooh, you saw tail.
it was
you
like
know.
5 teasers before, like where we actually saw like, oh, that's something like a monster or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah,
It
no,
was
I
just
think you.
the
I think
multiple
you.
teases. It's like I want one and then show me a trailer.
Yeah. Again, I'm okay with them hyping up a community, but I just
That's not hype.
I don't think that it's a good
What they
idea
did was
to
not hyping
do
up.
that, because if you're too ambiguous, then people get their hopes up too high, like
Yep.
me, and then when you really see what it is, it could not meet your expectations.
I mean,
And
I literally
I
said,
liked the event. Again, I liked Rotjaw, but I'm
I
talking
literally
about
said
teasers
make
in
him
general.
10 feet bigger, like, and
Yeah.
walking on land, like
Yeah.
both, all of the above.
Yeah, and this whole teaser thing, it doesn't really just fall into Hunt. A lot of companies do it nowadays. I just do not want to see Hunt become one of those
The same,
companies.
yeah.
Personally. But yeah, for those of you who don't know the teaser, yeah, there's just some voice acting, and it didn't really give us any information except there might be voice acting, or it's a
They
campaign
opened
mode.
a
I don't know.
box, and they're like,
Yeah.
look at
Box,
that.
and there was a red glow.
Yeah,
It
It's
was,
Mr.
I
Sherry.
couldn't even tell there was a glow. And it's like,
He's coming back to life.
okay,
I don't know. That'd be
probably.
kind of cool, actually.
I think it was a gun or a weapon, something like that.
Well,
I don't think
Another
it was
beetle.
any like world.
I think
It's a
people
fire
were
beetle.
people are thinking it's lore based.
I mean, that might work.
I
I
find
think
would.
it is lore
They got the
based,
choke, so
but again, when you don't give anybody any information, like all of us were
See-
spitballing ideas that could be
Dude.
a bad thing.
but that's the
Hold on.
idea that they'll
Hold
keep,
on.
get them talking. The
We're
fans.
talking
Yeah.
about having fun with the game, dude. The fucking Beatles is like the funnest thing in this game, and nobody uses them.
I know. Oh, and
Oh
you're
my
a
God.
god with those
Nice.
Beatles too. Holy
Playing
crap.
the game for fun is exactly what those fucking Beatles were for. And you know what? I want them to add a fire beetle now.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah, I'm
Hell
with
yeah.
you.
At
Do
this
it.
point, they fucking need to. They like a fire beetle would be the funniest
He's
thing in the
got
world
like
to me.
spikes on his like back and stuff
And
like
they can
that.
make him
Yeah,
look all
dude.
angrier, like, "Hey," that would be so cute. Like-
Give him a
It's
little
like
angry
inside his
googly eye.
mouth is orange.
Oh, by the way, Crytek, please give Beatles skins too.
I was just
think
about
that'd
to
be
say
great.
they have no
Yeah.
skins.
Yeah.
A
Like,
Halloween
give him
beetle
like
skin.
a little sweater, you know.
Make a
like,
pumpkin
oh,
beetle, dude.
baby.
Give the choke a little sweater, man.
Oh,
look
that's so cute. Especially when they drop the winter map.
Especially when they
hint or
murder
something.
you.
Oh, that'd be so
Colorado, right? That was the name
Yeah,
of
yeah.
the.
cute. Yeah,
Yeah.
That
that's
was the code name.
The code name. Yeah.
Yeah.
So who
Yeah.
knows when it'll come out, though?
Well,
Yeah.
Beautiful when it does.
one huge
Hopefully,
problem that I kind of want to reiterate with the teasers as well as the battle passes is, and I'm going to start with the battle passes because that makes it easier. When you have story blocks that are locked behind the battle pass, making that part of it, which is already kind of strange to me because nobody cares.
Yeah.
Just have it unlock weekly. Like, you know,
Yes.
like
Yeah.
those things.
Yes,
Yeah.
Yeah,
because the
that's
people
It'll make
that,
better.
it part of the battle pass.
especially you're already taking away people who care about the story and making them play
Have
the
to pay
game
for it.
or
Like,
have to look
how
it
much
up
did you guys
online.
take to the side to like listen to those?
Oh, I didn't listen to a single one.
Never.
I
didn't
I
either.
took a second and I was like,
Well, let me
I
put it
haven't
this way.
listened or read any of them.
I found a video on YouTube of a gentleman, I wish I could remember his name, who compiled the whole story and put it into a YouTube video, and it was fantastic. He was a small YouTuber. I hope I can find his video because I want to
Yeah,
credit him.
I'd like to see that as well.
Because it was
actually.
really good. It had all of the voice acting and everything. He compiled it really, really nicely. Or she, I'm sorry. But it was really good. And that's the kind of way it should be, is it shouldn't be implemented into a battle pass where people are playing the game and nobody cares. Because we've already got dedicated lore YouTubers like Hazmat, FTW. That guy is incredible. And amazing lore videos from everything from the basic mobs to the current events and touching on the new, like the small characters, you know, and anybody that cares about that is listening to Hazmat, hopefully. And otherwise it's largely ignored and they throw it into the battle pass. And then in the teasers, they try to make the lore seem relevant because this current teaser is supposed to be teasing towards a character towards Lynch. Do you guys know who Lynch is?
Nope.
No.
Actually, I do not.
That already proves my point because Lynch is one of the most important characters in Hunt Showdown, and nobody knows who she is.
Okay.
Would have guessed it was a dude.
Wait, what?
I would have guessed based off Lynch. Was
That it was like, yeah.
Oh, it was a girl. When she was a little girl, she made basically a deal with the quote-unquote devil of the world and started hunting in the bayou and hunting random people. I can't even remember the lore completely accurately because that's how much they've given us.
Well, I mean, like, you guys were saying that, like, Mr. Sherry was, like, dead, and I was like, wait, he was just giving us shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was cutting his hand for us.
Now we toss a coin into a hat and like, hey, maybe we get something.
Well, cutting his hand. No, we were cutting our hands for Mr. Cherry.
Oh.
Yeah. It was tribute to Mr. Sherry.
Oh,
but
good
now
old
we just
Sherry.
do dark tribute.
Hurting himself.
It's like, you want to cut your hand for me? I'll throw in an extra 10 blood.
I'll give you
Not blood bonds.
I'll give you 2 upgrade points.
$1.
There's been a picture on Reddit, I think twice that I've seen of somebody getting $100, and I laughed so hard.
Wow, so nice.
Straight up rip off.
Oh.
So yeah, no, it's very unkind.
He's like that one guy, like, buying chocolate from Patrick and SpongeBob. He's like, I'll take 20.
Yep.
Man's blood type is F negative. $1.
$1.
It's depressing, man. I love that they're trying to make the lore matter, but it's not good enough to keep people's attention.
They need cutscenes.
Yeah.
They do.
Like,
They can't just lock in
cutscenes.
under teasers and reading. People do not like to read. So
At least
They
today.
need some, like, super long cutscenes for every event, like, that where one team works on it. I'm sure they're not a big enough team for that, but
right, yeah, but
they're growing, so.
yeah, they're still moving in the right direction with a lot of things. As much as we complain, but that's kind of what we're supposed to do here. So
That's true.
You know.
Well,
Hey, you're not doing your job right.
yeah.
The thing is, we're also like, we're the most like fucking zero brained. Like, we focus in on playing the game, and that's all we fucking do. You know?
Yeah. I
Like,
mean,
we just
no,
turn
I'm
into
a
monkeys,
genius.
go whoo, whoo, and fucking shoot people, kill, run, die.
I mean,
Oh,
for me,
kill,
it's just
run,
shoot.
You know?
noise.
For me, it's just shoot and miss and die. So
Bird, run.
yeah.
Speaking of lore, Colin does have something that he wants to add.
Yeah, I think that there needs to be a consumable that follows Rotjaw's lore, because in her lore, in the like through the event, they reveal that she's made using all the like cursed electricity stuff. So why not have like a hive jar style consumable that's just full of that goop that like locks down an area?
Yeah.
Like a really small, like you can like throw it at a hunter and it'll like,
And it like spreads out almost like a floor trap.
Yeah, or you could like throw it at a doorway and it's just like a puddle that prevents hunters from coming
I
in.
would say more than just a puddle. I think you throw it at like something, and then it spreads the goop in multiple puddles, like Raja does.
Right.
Yeah.
Because if it just did like what you're saying, like just to block a doorway, people would just use a firebomb or a smoke,
True.
like a smoke. But if you make it like spread apart, like a bigger range, like because it doesn't do really damage,
Yeah,
but it would be
multiple
useful.
puddles.
Yeah,
Multiple
exactly.
puddles.
I think that would be useful because then you could listen to people and
Yeah,
hear
it
them get shot
crashes and then it
stuff.
explodes out.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It should also have an initial phase where it's like a big lightning strike for like a solid
Yeah.
second. So it would do immense damage in that area as well before it spreads out, kind of like what Rotjon does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. That's what they should do, Colin.
That would be
Yeah,
a fun,
just-
fun little thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
it would.
Yeah. I think that should be something like if they're gonna keep progressing lore wise, they should definitely like they should follow up
Incorporate
this Raja event
Yeah.
during the Halloween event and just like, hey, they discovered how to do this because yada yada yada.
Because of Racha, and now we have
So-
Frankenstein. Ah!
Well, even if they implemented... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna go into something else,
Oh,
kind of related.
real quick then, because I think one thing they could do is, especially in events, even if it's maybe a little too difficult, they could implement special wild cards where it's like a seasonal enemy, like it's a scarecrow
Yeah.
that's out in the field for Halloween, or it's like an evil Santa Claus
Oh, hell yeah.
or something during Christmas. Just something.
I mean, they had pretty sure it was Krampus running around in COD Warzone at one point.
That sounds great.
Jeez.
Yeah, it sounds great. To kind of go along with what Colin was saying with Raja, I was just thinking that you could put Raja when there's a 2 contract.
Yeah.
So I want like 3 contracts, 3 active. I think would be great.
One argument I did see against that I do agree with,
It's all wrong. No, I'm just kidding.
it's that
Oh.
a lot of teams will ignore each other and they'll try to focus on getting a bounty and leaving. The more bounty, the less likely they are to conflict. I mean, we see it with 2 bounties where both bounties will run to the
They just
exit
ignore
quickly.
each other. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah.
Even in high elo that happens.
I mean, maybe just less extractions. Like
Now you're talking. Like lower
Yeah.
the amount of
Oh.
extractions if they
Yeah.
heighten
don't
the
make
amount
it so
of...
that it's right next to it. Make it
That's
like
a-
one on the top, one on the bottom, maybe.
That's a smarter idea.
Interesting. Yeah.
Not like
Ooh.
3 or 4. No,
That would be-
take them away. Make it
Yeah, that'd
one
be a good way to-
extraction.
To counteract that.
Make
yeah.
them fight.
Dang.
Yeah, that way at least
Make
something
them
has
If you're
to.
already brutal as a death game type of thing, you have to die or make it out. Make it so they have to fight. Already
Yeah.
do that with single contract, so why not do it with multi contracts?
Yeah. I think that's an excellent way to counterbalance that.
Yeah,
Personally.
it has to be. It has to be
Let
something
them
that
fight.
they implement. Yeah.
Let them fight.
Hell,
That'd be
even
cool.
if there was a season where they made it so that there was a single extraction only, that could be kind of nutty.
I just thought about this. What if we had 2 bosses in one zone?
Oh my
That
gosh.
That would be
could
chaotic.
not work.
It'd be freaking great.
I don't know. Certain places like Blanchett, it could, because like
Where
But
there is 2
there's
boss
2 zones. Yeah.
Even in like I was saying, if they were outside in like the complex,
Yeah, maybe like a lesser version of the boss. I don't know. This is all speculative. This
I
is
just
probably
think it
something that'll
sounds
never
cool, that's all.
happen. Yeah.
It would make for interesting gameplay. I mean, for a long time,
Switch it up.
I used to think that I wanted an extra team, or not even, no, not 2, just an extra team. 15 players. But,
Yeah.
which I don't know if that would ever happen. Ever.
Unless they made a bigger map, maybe it wouldn't. I
Better
don't know.
engine, I think, is what it requires.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
15
server
different-
space, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Jeez.
I mean, we've already got frame rate drops from hell from Gar. Thanks, Gar.
Scar.
20 minus
That's
frames.
right,
Great skin
yeah.
though. Great skin.
Yeah. Well,
Love
Gosh.
her.
thanks to a great new YouTuber who's entered the atmosphere. I think his name is Rabitual, which is a funny little pun. But he showed that each iteration of Gar up to 3, I think the first was 20 frames, the second was 15, and the third was, I think, 10 or an additional 15. That's insane. Frames stolen from you? That
Yeah,
is not
that's
okay.
big. And you're gonna get the people who are playing in other regions who are taking advantage of the low ping, playing those just to make it even worse for you and better for themselves.
Because if they're playing on
I'm gonna
higher end
play as Gar.
PCs,
Yep.
yeah.
Just
Yep.
Gar. All day, all day.
Well,
Yeah, if everybody's Gar, nobody is.
Everyone's Gar. You have a broken game.
Yeah.
Nobody's playing.
oh my god, I should have brought this up sooner, but this was actually a big announcement, but I did have to do a little edit on it. The live action Hunt show is no more currently.
Oh, yeah.
Binge
Speaking
lost
of
the
lore.
rights. Yep. And
Well, I guess we're not binging it anymore.
right. Well, and ha ha ha. But
Aha!
David Fifield did announce that they are open to other people taking the rights and implementing a show, which surprised me because one of our favorite Twitch streamers said that he thought that this was a good thing. Nino, shame on you, Nino. I don't know why you said that was a good thing. I want a show.
I mean, yes. Okay, I want a show. But having said that, who was doing the show last time? Wasn't it Netflix or something?
It was a service called Binge.
Oh, okay. Well, a lot of video game adaptation stuff just aren't very good, and I think that's what his concern was. So I do understand that, but I was still willing to give the show a chance because it's Hunt and I love it. So
I think you should make it as cheesy and crazy as you can, and
Hell
then
yeah.
it's got a personality.
The
It doesn't take us too seriously.
they should
but
just make the show. It's just a video game, and there's no talking. People are just running around.
No,
It's in
no,
the game
no.
engine.
the credits are a guy who screams, "Ah!"
In my opinion, this is a game adaptation that would work because they wouldn't make it about the game. They would have a lot of characters talking, like Sheriff Hardin, who is a huge center of the legendary
lore.
hunters. Yes.
Yep.
He's
He's kind of the villain.
a little bit. He's an anti-hero. He's
Yeah,
willing to do
anti-hero,
anything to get. He's willing to get anything done, and I think that this could have worked live action because it would have been like almost no shooting, almost no Bayou action. But it would be if they wanted people to care about the lore, this was the way to do it, and they would.
I agree.
You know,
I agree.
and that's kind of the shame because I mean,
Yeah.
oh my god, if they tried to make it into the live action, nobody would actually like it. If I'm being honest, if they tried to have like the gun fighting and stuff, it might be a little too corny.
I mean, they
you do
could
it
have a
just
gunfight
right,
here
'cause,
and
I mean,
there, you know. But
It's a very cowboy movie, but you're just gonna add some of those cool monsters. I mean, imagine
Yeah.
seeing one of those like Scrapbeak live action.
That would
Oh,
be
that would
so
be
bad.
To
so
see
cool.
him menacing over you, like 10
They
feet
can make him
tall.
even taller. They can,
Yeah.
just make
Like
him.
you're literally like walking in like a building, and
And
then
all
you
of a sudden
kinda
he's
see
there.
his figure like flashing, and then it kind of has him screeching. Not like too horror, but you know,
But if
like
nobody,
kind of like
if nobody, invades the compound and hops the window and runs into a concertina poison trap, then it's not lore accurate.
Yeah, that's true.
the guy literally waiting in the corner with his shotgun.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Where's the campers? Where's the
Crowds
sniper?
walking everywhere. I can just imagine the cast just walking like that around.
So
Backstage.
going into more of the lore stuff, I did want to mention. I don't really want to talk about this for too long because I think we've been talking about it for too long already.
Wrong.
But the with the teaser trailer, how they revealed like some voice acting. A lot of people are speculating it could be like story driven stuff, lore based, which is kind of what we're talking about. I haven't really done too much research on this, but there was a lady who was like, I think she was like trending on the Hunt Showdown scene or something, because she was like, "Yes, I am this person. I voice acted Gar in
I
Hunt
think I saw
Showdown,"
that.
and I was like, "Is this a joke?" Because there's like a male and a female voice actor, like a male and a female,
A male and a female.
and so I don't know if that adds into that, but I just thought that was interesting. If anybody can correct me or give input on that, I would love to know.
I'm sure that has got to be a farce because so little information is leaked out, and I doubt that there's some mystery leaker who participated in the filming.
The cast of
Right.
Showdown.
Yeah, it's already.
I don't know. I'd like to know the truth though, like 100%.
It's like they have like closed captions for like Hunt Showdown, like play.
It's like a silent film. That'd be funny.
Seriously, but that's a shame because
It is.
I think a lot of lore is lost due to incompetence. If I'm being honest, I don't think the story writing is bad. I think the implementation of the story into what we have with gameplay is bad. Yes.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
Because no, the story is fantastic. Whoever's writing the story, if I recall correctly, it was a lady. She needs to keep it up. She's doing great.
I mean, imagine if the
Very
game
unique.
like launched with a big old long cutscene of like what happened to start this.
Yeah,
Like,
a lot of people wouldn't be so lost. And
We would
like,
know
"Ooh,
who
zombies, monsters,
Lynch is
ooh."
per se. We would know why things are kind of the way, and it could be all done with the storytelling they're already trying to do with some of those trailers when they're introducing events or new hunters.
Yeah. Well, and of course, I mean, I'm kind of wondering if somewhere down the line, I know I brought up this example before, but you can't really help it when you've got to compare a really popular game to another popular game. Is it going to be like League of Legends where the stories of the characters start to be changed to fit the narrative and kind of be cohesive with everybody else's story being added? Is the story already pre-written? It's really hard to determine in a game like this where the story is coming out season by season. And I mean, if they're really hoping that this is a slam dunk of a story, they really better add it quicker than each event because nobody cares. Almost
Just do
nobody cares.
Just do what Warframe does. I don't know.
I don't
Because that
even
story
care
is
about
very
Warframe
easy to
lore.
follow.
Or even if they could add in-game events like we were saying with Colin's
Yeah.
idea of the anti what was it, the anti traits where
Mhm.
you take a
Yeah.
deal
Yeah.
with Jerry, say he comes back from the
On the
dead
map.
and he screws you and gives you an anti trait. They could really get people caring about it in such a silly way, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, Fortnite does story in their own gameplay.
Yeah,
Which
like
is-
NPCs on the map. Like it's
Yeah.
just it would make sense in a game like this. Yeah, this.
It really would.
Yeah.
It's about the
It would.
only way you could get players to pay attention because otherwise everything goes over people's heads.
Like it doesn't
Like
really
ours.
work like in COD because COD's like go in and kill everyone versus like Fortnite and Hunt Showdown. Like
Kill.
you can literally go in the bayou and be like, "Hey, let's team up."
Or, hey, I'm going to be a scoundrel and betray you. Or
Yeah, something like
Yeah.
that, which is totally something that would happen in this sort of environment.
exactly.
Kill King Kong and Godzilla as they battle as giant monsters over you.
Yep,
Mhm.
it's a canon event on Showdown.
Yeah.
Do it. Do it now.
Do a crossover.
Do it now.
You know, I would even hope
Don't do a
it
crossover.
might be exceptionally difficult to do, especially since there's a current king of this kind of thing. But Dead by Daylight, if they could even, for their Halloween event, get a horror game boss, that would be wildly interesting. Or even if they could have like a skin, a hunter skin, or even a gun skin would be even enough. Or God forbid, a charm. You might actually get somebody to equip one for once. Of like a horror game, like a Jason mask.
Or like something that's at least it can still be lore based, but
relevant,
it's clearly
yeah.
a nod to whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would help. People would love that.
Absolutely,
You know?
I would.
I mean, God, Dead by Daylight just got Alien.
Yeah. Freaking
How's she
awesome.
play, Aaron? How's she play?
Oh, she's awesome.
Good.
Honestly, I love her. She's probably one of the better killers in the game.
Okay, so-
overall.
Very nice. Very
But
nice.
if you want any type of crossover, at least a skin wise, you could have the gunslinger.
That's what I was
Ooh.
thinking. Because
Yeah.
it's literally
yeah.
a character in that game that would make sense in this sort of game. So
I think
Yeah.
this will have to be a topic we revive because most
Yeah.
people won't listen this far into the podcast. But man, having a Dead by Daylight crossover into Hunt, man, people would go crazy. Especially since a lot of the players, cough,
Well-
Aaron, translate over those games.
Dude,
Well,
honestly, it is really weird because, dude, I check accounts mainly for like, let's see what type of player this guy is. Do they only play this game, or do they play other games? And like,
Mhm.
there's like a fucking 75% chance that most Hunt players all play Dead by Daylight,
The
whether
streamers
it's to
certainly
a
do.
small extent or to a really big extent.
Yeah. And that would be huge because that would give both games a lot of
Yeah.
press.
Yeah. I agree.
Dead by Daylight's always willing too.
yeah.
'Cause, I mean, dude,
Oh,
they
yeah.
paid to get Nick Cage.
Yeah. Could you imagine
Best
Nick
thing.
Cage shooting you in the head in Hunt Showdown?
Oh,
I would
You
welcome
probably,
it.
I would too. I would 100% welcome that.
That'd be great.
Then we're getting on Fortnite down.
Well,
Hell yeah.
it would be gracefully done. It wouldn't be like
Yeah.
a fucking unicorn skin, right? It would be something really, really.
I would pay for that.
No.
I actually would too.
Nicki Minaj.
Oh no! No!
Hell
No! No!
yeah.
No! No!
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
no.
Goodness gracious! Too far. Dial back. Real quick. Oh, go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
was gonna say something real quick. We were talking about the crossover with DVD, and essentially, I think last week or another one, we were talking about possibly like some sort of contract or something that more hunts you down type of thing. And I think if you had something like that with the gunslinger from Dead by Daylight sort of thing, I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it might have to be a different game type, but I think they could swing it.
Yeah, I think someone should hunt you down. Yep.
Will you?
But all of the stuff we mention, we know it's not
It's all
going to
just
happen.
like
It's just
cool
speculation.
shit that could
and-
work or it could not. Just
Yeah.
depends on what they want to do.
the problem
Yeah.
is,
Still their
Hunt's is
vision.
too damn proud. That's
Yeah,
not necessarily
it
a bad
wants
thing.
to stay where it's at and add stuff, but keep itself niche, which is good and bad.
Yeah,
So,
I can still respect it, though. I understand the
Yeah.
hustle.
if you want to be like, that's why I don't expect any crossovers anytime soon
Yeah, exactly.
because of that idea.
Well, a nice little finisher subject because this was actually one that I kind of wanted to put into speculation because it's partly what we want and partly what we might expect. A kind of Hunt skin that we would really want to see. I mean, I've got mine and I'll say it until it's in the game. But I really want to hear what you gentlemen have to say because, I mean, we've got the Halloween skin that's most likely coming. I mean, what do you want to see in it? Or maybe what do you want to see in the following skin, the Christmas skin?
Oh, we didn't even get a Christmas event last time, huh?
I don't...
Yeah, that was annoying.
Yeah, that
Didn't
was
we?
weird.
We got
No.
a half-baked
No,
one.
we didn't get the ho 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 ho.
No, it was
Yeah.
just you can
You
rebuy
could buy
some of the
Krampus
Christmas
and
skins.
Fucking
Yeah.
Scrooge, yeah.
Yeah, but anyways, what I would like to see is a headless horseman.
Oh!
He would come with the
With a-
saber too. He's
With
so
a pumpkin
awesome.
head, though.
Yeah,
I
he'd
see
have to
that.
have
Yeah,
something to
yeah,
shoot.
yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. That would be cool.
I still want Bozo the clown.
Yeah, I feel that too. I'm with you there.
He's like a modern clown, though. He's not. He's bright as
It's got
can
like
be.
it's got like combat boots, like big old combat boots that are spray painted red or something.
Spray
And when you
painted.
It's like-
when you get a headshot on him, you hear a honk. Like it'd be great.
And then confetti flies out his.
it'd be
Like the grunt birthday party skull, dude.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh man.
Colin, Aaron, you guys
I-
got ideas? Hang on.
Personally, like, I mean, more so joking. I wouldn't actually say what I actually think would be something that I'd like, but something less human, almost like a mutated thing.
I mean, we do
Like-
have the undead, right?
Yeah, but less about like human and undead.
More-
More like we're talking about
Monster, right?
yeah,
Like
monster.
eldritch
like,
horror kind
like
of a
they
thing.
could be. I mean, obviously, I can go for a lizard creature anytime, but anything with like teeth and claws and stuff like that, like still humanoid, but
Give him the
like-
reptile feature in Mortal Kombat Deception, where he's
True.
like a lizard. Yeah.
Yikes.
oh my god. But yeah, like maybe even a demon that's like got more of a snarl on his face. Don't
That'd be
change
kinda
up the head too much. Make it like kind of more of a
Still
hood or
balanced.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, make it balanced still.
Okay. Do you guys have an idea, Colin or Aaron?
Nah.
I mean, if we're talking about cool skins that kind of fit with the lore, I'd love to see like a maimed character.
Maimed.
Yeah, somebody that is just like their face is just
Falling
Or
Real
Harley-
fucked up.
like
I
blown
have a
apart. Or
couple
like,
of those.
well, I mean, like
To a
bone
greater
exposed.
extent. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm talking like Two-Face level maimage.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel you.
Just
Yeah,
something
that'd be
that,
cool.
that shows off that this world is kind of built around experimentation.
Maybe they have a flaming
and-
skull. They're Ghost Rider.
Oh gosh.
Well, kind of like what Colin was saying, because there's technically two characters that do fall under that category. Is there is the infected, who he's half dead. Well, he's basically dead.
There's actually 3 characters.
Is there 3? Because
really?
the,
Yeah,
the
keep going,
mountain
keep going.
man,
Yeah.
he also has
Wait, the Mountain Man?
the mountain man has an undead hand. I don't know if you noticed that.
Really?
Yes, one of his
I
hands is
does,
rotting.
yeah.
Interesting.
Who's the third?
It's
Okay,
the
so
widow.
there
The widow?
yeah, there's that widow that came
Oh,
out with
yeah!
the flame event.
Yeah.
And
Widow,
there's
yeah.
also of course
Ochenkov.
the Revenant. There's also the
Revenant.
The
Revenant.
That is
Revenant.
true.
I guess that's
Yeah.
true. I was thinking of people that were kind of like half, though.
The
you know?
widow was the one
Yeah,
that
I
was
guess.
Yeah, because on
basically
Chenkov's,
fully dead.
she does have the morgue wires stuck in her jaw.
I think, yeah, she's fully dead technically.
Yeah, so is the infected, technically. I think. I didn't read his lore. I probably should.
Yeah, she was a reanimated corpse, if I remember right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think
Chekhov's
so.
widow.
Yeah, just like Revenant. Revenant.
Well, I was even going to say a lore accurate skin would be a dead version of the black coat, because the black coat in the lore is dead.
Yes,
Spoiler.
he is.
Well, spoiler. What do you mean? That's been there
I'm
forever.
just kidding. Well, if you don't
was-
know the lore, then
I can't remember
don't
if he
know.
was killed by Lynch. I think it was either Lynch or his own daughters, and his daughters haven't been revealed. I think Lynch convinced his daughters to kill him, if that's what it was, because he was going to murder them or something. I should re-go through the lore. That's how rusty I am. But my idea, and it will stand until it's happened, is I want a Bandito skin. I want a Mexican with a big ass poncho. Make it Cinco de Mayo. I don't care.
big mustache.
With dual
Hell
pistol
yeah.
skins, come in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want it.
Big hat too.
Big ass sombrero, man. Make it known.
I'm so down for that.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. No, I actually would be too. Like,
Honestly, a bandito
would-
just makes sense.
I mean, it would be lore accurate too.
Yeah,
Like,
surprised they haven't done
could
it
write
yet.
it in. Yeah, I
Especially if
know.
we're getting into the Colorado territory. Hell yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because that,
Yeah.
that would be one hell of a celebration skin, man. That would make a lot of people happy.
hmm I agree.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It'd make me happy. I'd buy it.
I would in an instant.
I'd pay
Mhm.
$20 for it. Don't do that. Don't do that, though, Crytek. Please don't.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, they're
that
gonna do that now. They're like, oh, this one guy is gonna buy it for $20. We should do it.
You can get a sale
Make
off
at least
of this one
$20.
guy. Just $20 off of this
On
hourly
sale, it's on
wage.
20.
Normally it's
It's a
$100.
$50 skin.
God dang.
It's
More
than
than the game cost. That guy better come with
It's a
special
gold
effects.
labeled skin.
A fucking fireworks better shoot out of him when he's on the map, dude.
You better be able to get insta kills with him. You better get an advantage using
Pay to
him.
win.
Pay to win. Oh, goodness.
No, do not be pay to win. That would ruin this game.
We do need more skins that have more special effects, like Miner's Song, that,
Yes, yeah.
like the alarm trip mines
Or-
that do have different colors.
Or like have a smoke bomb that like the smoke is not just like gray, just like a muted blue or something or red. I don't know.
Yeah,
like-
a likewise color that wouldn't interfere too much with what its purpose is.
Actually,
right. Yeah.
why don't flare pistols do that? They do that with the fusees. Why
They do.
don't they do that with the flare pistols?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's one that they desperately needed.
Yeah. I would actually collect all the flare pistols. I mean, I think I'm only missing one because I actually love the flare pistol. But
They're awesome.
Don't say that.
Yeah.
We're not buying a single flare pistol until this is fixed. I want all
Fix
the
it.
colors.
fix it.
Does anybody have any closing thoughts before we wrap up this podcast? Does anybody have one more subject they'd like to bring up?
Yeah.
More stupid skins.
I actually do have something we wanted to bring up.
Oh, sorry.
What kills or what makes you the most mad when you get killed by it?
Good one.
And for me, and we don't have to go into super detail, I think it'll be pretty self-explanatory. For me, it's when somebody has dualies and they're like 20, 30 meters away. They shoot a first shot
It's
and
the
it just hits me
dualies.
right in the head. Yep,
It's
every
the
time.
dualies headshots.
Every time, without
It's the
fail.
Dualies. Dualies piss me off every single time. Doesn't matter what dualies it is. It's just any dual pistol. It pisses me off.
Because when I use it, I can shoot a perfect ring around their body, but I can't hit them. Like, I don't know. It's just so inconsistent.
I have a better chance shooting each of their testicles off than I do hitting them as a whole. So
Even if they're a woman.
yep.
like-
Yes.
Yeah, even if they're a woman with the fucking big jangly nuts, man, it's just
Nice.
I hate dualies.
God
too.
damn.
I wouldn't go with the dualies. I don't get killed by dualies enough to care about that much. What really bothers me more is a sniper scope from compound away, hiding in the trees.
Me personally, I can't be mad at that because that is such a hell of a shot they have to land.
But
So
the scope
dedicated
is so
to-
like calm, and if you're literally focusing on something else, they can literally just shoot you and you're down. Doesn't matter.
That's fair.
It's like,
I'm
oh, thanks,
saying
I
for
wanted
me
to play.
personally.
Yeah,
Right, yeah, right.
but that's why I'm just like, thanks. I didn't want to see where you were at and try to maneuver about and
Well,
try to
I
kill you
mean-
and have a fair fight.
It kind of goes the same with like passive players. I don't like passive players who just sit and wait.
Yeah,
But,
that's what
I
I'm
mean,
saying. It's a
granted-
waiting thing.
Granted, I think people who are good with snipers kind of have an excuse because you kind of have to do that. I don't know. Maybe they're.
It's
maybe I'm
usually
wrong.
the solos that pick you off and then just go and.
Oh,
run
they
around,
try
peeking
to shoot
around.
you from far away, and then you just run away, and they're like, "No, you're supposed to stay and fight me." Yeah, I don't
That's
like
what I'm saying. When they get that headshot, and then you're just like, well, I died from 100+ meters from a guy not even involved with the fight we're dealing
that.
with.
Right.
It's like they're just like taking pop shots at you, which is part of the game, but I just
Yeah,
don't
it
like
is.
it that much.
That's fair.
Not my play style.
I mean, for me, I'm gonna play a little bit of,
Devil's advocate.
a little bit of a devil's advocate, but I guess I can't stand.
That's a good skin.
Haha. Which will come back in
fast.
the holiday season. Look forward to that.
That's a
Maybe.
great skin.
I can't stand getting fanned or levered. I realize it's a completely viable strategy, but every single time I hear that fucking pistol fire 5 rounds the second around the corner and I don't have time to react, it's pretty triggering. Why not shotguns too? I don't know. I guess I just hate hearing that thing sound like a machine gun.
I guess that's
And
true. It's
levering-
like the Optimon. Yeah.
I swear to God, every person who levers at me hits the first 2 shots, and it's never ever a miss. The fanning
Yeah.
is kind of a gamble. Sometimes it's hilarious and they empty their pistol and I'm looking right at them.
That is pretty good.
It's always a good feeling to kill that person. So
It is, but man, that levering, they never miss. So that's got to be mine because it's not necessarily a bullshit way to die, but I hate it.
yeah, no,
Yeah,
it triggers you.
exactly.
That's what this is about. Is about what makes you mad. So
Yeah. But we do got to call it there. Colin did message me and say he had to step away. So, unless anybody has another final thought, anything they'd like to add towards anything, because we've got one more month when we're gonna record the next podcast.
I don't right now. Just until we get more information. I think it's nice to just kind of sit and wait. It'll be a nice grace period.
Yeah. Richard?
Just get out there and play some more if you want. Kind of just like get a feel for it some more. Enjoy as much as you can because you know it'll get sweaty again.
Well,
It always does.
I don't know. It's kind of sweaty now.
It is.
Yeah. Well, you don't have to sweat right now. There's no unlockables really,
Just-
other than
yeah.
blood bonds. But they'll come and go.
All right. Well, Aaron, do you have anything else you'd like to add?
Put 21 Savage in the game.
What?
He's in COD, isn't he?
Yeah, he just got put in COD. I just scrolled past that little article right now.
Might as well cave to
That's
the
why I
masses.
mentioned Nicki Minaj.
Snoop
Oh,
Dogg,
God.
man. A Snoop Dogg intro
Also
voice.
in COD.
Get ready. Hunt.
Showdown.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
You
Oh,
lived to
hell
die
yeah.
another
Oh,
day.
yeah, we would
Put
need
boots and
Arnie.
clothes.
That guy's my hero. Ever since a little kid, my hero. But anyways,
I'm
different-
ballsy.
yeah.
I don't take no shit from anyone.
Well, since we have no constructive things to say anymore, thank you. Thank you so much for listening to this podcast. If you made it to the end, we will see you in 1 month. Thank you so much for listening. Stay hunting.
We appreciate
Yeah, stay
you.
hunting, please.
No.